Ladies and gentlemen, please throw your hands in the air for the greatest podcast on earth when it comes to music, sports, and culture. Disabled is Able with your host, Eli and Fredy. So put your hands together if you are ready to get the show started. Let's go. Peace. Welcome to another episode of Disabled is Able. We disabled even when we're not completely as a full team today. Yes. Able to do that thing. I'm Dad.
I'm the host Eli.
Host Eli is in the building. Fredy is taking tests.
Yeah.
Among other things. So we understand we give him this space to do that, but he will be fully represented today.
Sure.
As usual. How you feeling?
I'm feeling great. My team is both of my teams are killing it. In both sports.
So you in a good space right now.
I'm in a good space.
Okay.
You know, your team has been struggling. It's kind of making me a little happy.
Not my Cowboys.
Not your Cowboys, but your Lakers.
My Lakers are, but I mean, if there's any consolation with that, it's that LeBron is out.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, so
if we're being honest, right?
And when he comes back, it's his job, and I know he's been sitting there as a coach that he is.
Right, analyzing.
Who's going to get traded? You slide over.
Changing the lineups and whatnot.
Trying to make sure that they have a full schedule, team in place to get that thing going.
Absolutely.
So let's get right into it.
You're listening to the sounds of Disabled is Abled podcast.
Eli, I think the shocker of the week was that the Washington football team
beat the Buccaneers.
The Buccaneers coming off a bye.
Right.
The Bucs were coming off a bye this week. Usually Tom Brady is extra prepared, the details.
Yeah.
I think this is where he misses Belichick. He won't admit it. Belichick coming off a bye is usually over-prepared. Understand that, we got to
with the defense,
Yes.
Even if Tom does make mistakes, we can still win this game.
Right, we can still win this game. Tom is starting to look old. He threw a couple of picks before the break.
You're right, he definitely did. He threw a game-winning pick that cost him against the Saints.
Yes.
They went into the bye, came out. He threw it. The first pick got tipped. Which we don't like. I don't like to count those as a quarterback.
No, I get it, but
because
they still go on your record.
Right.
But it wasn't your fault. Yes.
That second pick he threw in the game, he threw it straight to the defender.
Yes.
Overthrew Mike Evans and what's the Washington quarterback?
Heineke. Yeah.
Capitalized off of it.
Yes. They control possession of the game.
Right. Time of possession. Running game was great.
Yes.
That defense has been heavy on penalties, being impatient. I'm talking about the Buccaneers.
Undisciplined.
Undisciplined defense.
Yes.
On the Buccaneers' part, and that secondary hasn't been strong since they've been losing their corners.
Yes.
And it was just another. Unfortunately, it was another loss for the Buccaneers. It feels like they've lost 3 straight games because they're coming off a bye.
I know.
So it seems like now it's like...
But that seems like forever.
Right.
You lose one before the bye, you go on vacation, you come back and lose, which means you guys haven't had a winning formula in a minute.
Right.
I expect them to right the ship very soon.
Monday night they have the Giants, so they should
You know what? Yeah, they should win that. Yeah.
Because honestly, I don't expect Tom Brady, even though he doesn't have Bill Belichick in his corner anymore, to lose 3 straight games in a row.
Right. I really don't. I expect them to get this back in order soon.
But big time with the Washington Redskins.
Yeah, they lose team. My man Young.
You said you speculated
it's a torn ACL. For their linebacker.
That's going to hurt their defense.
Out of Ohio State.
A lot.
Yes, it's going to hurt them. And he was just a young, fiery, linebacker or lineman. I don't know which one he was.
But he has some potential. He'll be back.
Yeah. He's young. The Cowboys just slaughtered the Falcons.
Yeah.
And we expected them to.
That was a bounce-back game.
Coming off their bye, they lost against Denver. But it wasn't that they lost to Denver. It's how they lost to Denver.
Right.
They just looked flat. Dak looked like he wasn't ready to play.
Right.
His receivers were dropping passes.
Absolutely.
So when the Falcons are your get-back team, that's the team you circle on the calendar.
And like you said, buys are tricky because either you come in extra prepared or extra not lazy, but extra laid back.
Yes, it can go either way, and it really has a lot to do with the philosophy of the coach.
Right.
And, things of that nature.
And because y'all won last week and 7-2 teams lost, it kind of separates now between the contenders or the big time contenders and the runner-ups.
Yes. No, absolutely.
Because the NFC race, those last 5 seeds have been very tight.
Yes.
For like the last 8 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And now we still have another 9 weeks left.
Right.
Because we have an extra week of football. An extra week of regular season now.
Mm-hmm.
But they moved to what, 8-2, 7-2?
Yeah, 8-2 for the Cowboys.
8-2.
Or 7-2. I believe they're 7-2.
They have the Chiefs coming up.
This is going to be.
That's going to be big.
We'll talk about that when we get into the predictions. But that's going to be, to me, that's going to be the game of the season for both of those teams.
Dak looked great on accuracy.
Yeah, 296 yards, 2 TDs. But the running game was there. The
running game was there. Defense. Diggs got another pick.
8
picks in the last 9 games.
In last 9 games. Kudos for him.
He has wide receiver hands.
Yes. That's the key. People forget he was a wide receiver first.
Right.
And he converted to corner, so he understands a lot of the nuances.
Absolutely.
Of that. In our third game, we had the Panthers versus the Cardinals. Cam Newton makes his return with the Panthers. Who wins this game?
Panthers did 34-10, I believe.
34-10. The Panthers win this game. Cam Newton is back at home.
Yeah.
I think that's the only place he should be. He should end his career there.
Right. And but credit. Okay. The Cardinals didn't have their star quarterback.
What happened to
Kyle Murray's been hurt with an ankle injury.
Oh, no
for
wonder.
like a while now.
No wonder I haven't been hearing a lot about
the Cardinals.
The Cardinals lately.
So that was a big, but it's still a big time win for the Carolina Panthers.
Sure.
You gotta capitalize.
It keeps them in the hunt.
It keeps them in the hunt. And Cam came back strong. He took good leadership immediately after he came back, just being the leader of that team. And they did a lot of like wildcat.
Because he doesn't know the full playbook yet in terms of the new stuff.
And you can't really trust his arm strength anymore. Depending on the situation.
Exactly. But you still he can pick his spots.
Right.
To execute here and there down the stretch.
Now the Cardinals have one more game this week, and then they have a bye. So now you have to decide: do I bring Kyle Murray back this week?
Well, what's their record?
It's 8-2.
They're 8-2 still?
Yeah, because they lost. They was.
Where's my phone? Is this my phone?
No, I have it. I have my phone. I'll tell you right now what their record is. Hold on. Yeah, they're 8-2. They're going against the Seattle Seahawks, who lost this week against the Packers.
Okay, so
but that is a divisional game.
That's a divisional game. We don't know how that's going to turn out.
But I say send him out one more week because you have a bye.
Who they play next week?
They have a bye. I mean the Seahawks.
Ooh, the Seahawks. Seahawks haven't been playing well
in Seattle. I expect, honestly, they'll be 8-3. I expect the Cardinals to lose this week, but don't play Kyle Murray because you have a bye coming off of this.
And then that'll give you
2 weeks.
2 weeks to prepare.
Right.
I agree.
And 8-3 is not a bad record.
And here's the thing.
Going into 11
you
weeks.
might win that game.
Right.
You might
Depending on how Russell Wilson plays.
Absolutely.
Because he's just coming off of his middle finger injury.
Yes.
A lot sooner than I was expecting.
Exactly.
So, but Panthers in the hunt. I like how they're doing. And I like the duo that they have because they have their backup quarterback. I think his name is Phillips. So he's good at throwing the ball, and then when you get down in the red zone, if you want to do the Cam Newton switch route, it works.
Wildcat.
It's the same thing with the 49ers doing with Jimmy Garoppolo and Trey Lance.
Yes.
So,
yes.
I like it.
The Ravens outlast the Vikings 34-31 in overtime. Lamar bounces back. 266 yards, 3 touchdowns. He also threw 2 interceptions.
That was not the right game. It was the Ravens and the Dolphins.
Ravens and the Dolphins. Okay.
Ravens and the Dolphins. Dolphins upset the Ravens on Thursday Night Football. And I was surprised.
Oh, so that's that. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, that's the game. I kind of messed up with
Okay.
Thursday Night Football, Lamar Jackson going against the...
Oh, that's the game that they should have won.
They should have won. And it's really weird with the Baltimore Ravens. It's very weird.
They're either really good or
really
bad.
Yeah. They'll end up winning 5 games in a row and then start losing 3 games to a team that they should beat.
Yes.
Because they're, on paper, a better team.
Right.
And I don't know what... Lamar's kind of reverting back to that MVP Lamar.
Gotcha.
Where he does great in the regular season, but if you have a great defense like the Tennessee Titans actually do once again this season, I'm going to exploit that.
Right. Yeah, that's the team that
we're going to have at least 2 quarterback spies on him, and we're not going to go past at least 40 or 30 yards. Because it's not that he can't throw, it's that he's not accurate with his throws.
Right.
But once again, I do trust that they'll bounce back after this because they came out 2 weeks ago. They came out with a big win against the Colts.
Right.
I mean, against the Vikings.
So they show potential that they can get it done. And then somebody said it was hot in Miami, and it's just one of those games.
Right.
Any given Sunday.
And Miami is that streaky team that can beat big contender teams.
Yes, and what I noticed about Miami too is they could be having a bad season, but down near the end of the season, they wind up winning 2 or 3 games that they normally wouldn't.
And their defense, because they have a defensive coach who used to coach for Bill Belichick.
Got you. He's off that tree.
He knows how to. If anything, Miami's always going to have a great defense.
Got you.
But like I said, I expect the Ravens to bounce back. And Lamar just, I don't know. I think John Harbaugh needs to have a little bit more of a dog leash on Lamar.
Yeah, but
because he has him going. I don't like the kind of I get it because he's a great quarterback, and you have to have confidence in him. And sometimes I need to just trust in his play. But sometimes it costs them the game with the fumbles.
Yeah, I think you got to kind of live with that because.
And the interceptions that he be throwing.
You got to live with your quarterback, who your quarterback is. If he's not a drop-back quarterback who executes like that, I got to take the good with the bad. Because when he takes off...
and he's on point.
He takes off.
Yeah.
So it's kind of,
But I was feeling like, John should have a little bit more control.
Yeah.
As, because I know John is a great head coach.
So to me, he's maximizing... whatever he can.
Right.
He don't make him throw the ball down the field 30 times.
Right.
So it is what it is. The Packers beat the Seahawks.
Yeah, in the shutout.
17-0.
That's the first time Russell Wilson's had a shutout.
Yeah. And again, I'm not sure if he was ready to come back and play.
No, I don't think so either.
But he did come back, I guess. The severity of their record, because they got a losing record now.
Right. 3-6.
Trying to save their season, but he's just going to have to chalk it up. Seattle is finished.
Yeah.
I think the reign in Seattle is finished.
Ever since they
And what they have to do is they got to trade Russell Wilson now.
Yeah.
They have to.
Remember,
I remember.
He was going to try to get traded before this season started, and then for some odd reason backtracked and said he wanted to stay.
I think for both parties involved,
he should go to New York.
He should go to the Jets.
I
know what you're thinking, the Giants. The Jets or the Giants. But for both parties involved, there has to come a point where you go, okay, listen.
Right. This has been a great run.
It's been a great run, but building around you or making you the primary piece, it's not going to get it done.
Yeah, and then 2, I think...
I can get 3 draft picks.
I think it's more of like Pete Carroll and Russell Wilson, this relationship has run its course.
Yes.
Cause I know they love each other.
Yeah, sure.
But it's run its course now.
Absolutely.
And because the defense hasn't been the same, the only lasting member from that iconic defense is Bobby Wagner.
Right.
And your running game ain't the same. It's all because of that great Super Bowl game.
Yeah.
Didn't give the ball to Marshawn Lynch, and the butterfly effect.
From there, just continued to go, and you haven't recovered since. And Russell Wilson is a great quarterback, and while he's still a great quarterback, you get something for him.
Because he's only played about maybe 8 to 9 seasons. He has another...
This is the only time he's ever been out.
Right.
So you know he's durable.
Right. Absolutely.
So...
He can run around defenders left and right.
I say you get 3 draft picks for him, and call it a day.
So you call the Jets, I call the Giants.
Okay.
We'll see.
Okay. I like them both. And back to Aaron Rodgers.
Had an off night.
He had an off night, but still got the job done.
Still got the job done. And I think that's just been credit the entire season to...
Because remember, did he have to wait out a week? Yeah.
Yeah, COVID.
Right, he had the COVID protocols.
He had the COVID protocols. Credit to the Packers defense.
Yeah.
Who's been... Because for years, it's been the other way around. Aaron Rodgers, with his offense, carrying their defense and the entire team.
And the team wound up giving up so many points, he's playing from behind.
Right.
In a lot of cases. Yeah.
Right. So now, great defense, the best defense I've seen the Packers have since their game-winning run against the Steelers in 2010.
Right.
Now this might be and I even saw it last year.
Yeah.
Even in the NFC Championship game last year. So now this might be his last good opportunity to win it, the whole thing in Green Bay before. Cause I do believe he might go to the Steelers.
Yeah.
They need a quarterback bad. And they had the same amount of defensive pieces that the Packers have right now.
Yes.
Which
the Steelers stay
right. Defense
with an awesome
heavy.
defense, yeah.
Absolutely. So, and in a semi-tough division where he can win that for years to come.
Yes.
So, but other than that, off night, I think they'll bounce back for
yeah, he'll get back into a groove. But remember, you're not going to always have a superb night.
Right.
But if you get the win.
But if you get the win, you get the win.
Yes.
And, speaking on the AFC real quick, the last 7 teams are 500 and above. And that entire race has been very tight.
Wow.
The Titans have been holding down the fort.
Yes.
Without Derrick Henry, credit to them.
Yes, they look like they could be the team that comes out of the AFC just on defense and, running the ball.
But the 2 teams, the Chargers and the Patriots, are only 1 game out of their divisions.
Got you.
Behind the Buffalo Bills and the Kansas City Chiefs. How do you think that's going to play out with about 8 more weeks left?
The test is now. Now, every game counts more so than the first 8 games. I think you want to win them all, but now these games are significant.
And we know most likely those games that those teams count for is the 5 and 6 seed.
Yes,
because you're trying to get to that 2 or 4 seed depending on your division.
Absolutely.
And I think one of those teams might slip. I don't know which one because right now the Chiefs are in the number 4 spot. And Buffalo Bills, who've been looking a little shaky, they had a great performance last week against the Jets.
Well, it only take 1 win, and the Jets is a team like the Falcons.
Right.
You get everything right on.
Right.
You know what I mean? Speaking of getting everything right, the Chiefs faced the Raiders.
They beat them.
They handily beat them.
That was the most impressive one I've seen them have
this season.
Since probably week 1.
Yes. So that tells me even when they were winning these games, they were struggling.
Right.
They still were winning the games.
Right.
So they didn't fall too far behind. Now they're in first place in their division.
I believe that was the first game where Patrick didn't throw an interception.
Clap that up, getting it together. And I noticed he took what was available.
Right.
Instead of trying to hit the home run on every play.
And then once he took what was available to him, he finally did take the
Then,
home run.
because they all work hand in hand.
Right.
You keep packing away until you get the one-on-one matchup that you want, and you take advantage.
They have one of the biggest games of their entire season against your Cowboys, who has a great defense. And because he might underestimate Diggs' skills,
I hope he doesn't do that.
he might throw a few big picks that cost them the game.
Well, we're going to see.
Because he likes to go for those home runs.
Yes. So the Chiefs knock out their win. And, so let's get to these predictions.
You're
for Week 11,
listening to the sounds of Disabled is Abled podcast.
Week 11, my team, the Patriots, going to Atlanta Thursday night tomorrow.
I got the Patriots easy.
I have the Patriots as well. And this is prepared for our next matchup against
Right, you get 10 days to prepare.
We get 10 days to prepare for the Titans. Dolphins versus Jets division game. I'm gonna take the Dolphins.
I'll take the Dolphins in that. Even though the Jets are gonna start Flacco at quarterback, that may make a difference.
He's a streaky kind of quarterback.
Right. Yeah. You know what? Give me the Jets in that one. Give me the Jets.
Okay, I'm still gonna stick with the Dolphins. Packers versus Vikings division game.
That's a division game. Where they playing in?
Minnesota. Minnesota might squeeze this one out.
I gotta stay with the Packers.
Okay.
But it's gonna be close.
Yeah. I'm gonna also go with the Packers. Same thing, it's gonna be close. But I wouldn't be surprised if the Vikings pull that out.
Yeah.
Saints versus Eagles. Eagles had a big win last week against the Broncos.
I don't think they could beat the Saints. The Saints are coming off a bye.
I believe so.
Yeah. I got the Saints in that one.
I'm a gamble to take the Eagles. I think Hurts could be a better quarterback than Tannehill.
Okay.
Washington football team versus the Panthers. I have the Panthers. Having Cam as their backup.
Yeah, I'll take Panthers.
Is going to be beneficial for them. Colts versus Buffalo. I'm going to take Buffalo. In Buffalo.
In Buffalo, I'll take Buffalo because the Colts play indoors. They don't like to play outdoors.
Right. Lions at the Browns. I'm taking
the Browns. The Lions haven't won a game all season, I don't think.
Yeah, and last week it ended in a tie.
Right.
So
right.
I'm going to take the Browns as well.
Mm-hmm.
49ers and Jaguars. I'm going to take the 49ers. 49ers came out handling the Rams. We didn't talk about that. But
handled them.
They handled them last week.
Yeah, give me the 49ers in that one too.
Texans versus Titans. They're 1-8. I'm going to take the Titans.
I'm going to take the Titans in that. That's an easy pick.
And this is very impressive on how they handle it without their big...
Very impressed.
Captain of the team of...
Henry, yes.
Henry, who might be able to make it back by the playoffs if they keep handling their business.
Ain't that something? So, yeah.
Ravens versus the Bears. I'm going to call an upset again.
Ravens versus the Bears. Give me the Bears.
I'm going to take the Bears as well.
Where they playing at?
Chicago.
Give me the Bears. Yeah. I think I'll take the Bears in that one.
I think Justin Fields will outperform.
Yeah, Justin Fields is the
Jackson.
truth. Yeah.
Bengals versus Raiders. I think the Bengals have to win this game.
Bengals, Raiders. Give me the Raiders.
In Las Vegas?
In Vegas.
Yeah. I'm going to take the Bengals. I think the Bengals have to win this game in order to stay alive.
Okay.
American Game of the Week, Cowboys versus Chiefs. Who do you have?
I got the Cowboys, but I think the Chiefs going to pull it out.
Yeah.
I'm going to take the Cowboys because they're my team.
Right.
I just think going up to Kansas City is something about playing those kind of teams.
Yeah, it's going to be
the Cowboys got to travel to the West and just
like against the Denver
Broncos and it's so the Chiefs. I wouldn't be surprised if they won that, and I think it's a big game for both teams.
Right. I'm going to take the Chiefs as well, but one of your defensive players might make a big play.
Well, it's going to take more than one. I think if we get pressure on the line and make him make mistakes in the secondary, we'll be able to
I'm definitely calling like maybe a pick six to end the game that goes in your favor. So I wouldn't be surprised.
I like it.
Cardinals versus Seahawks. I say the Cardinals shouldn't play Kyle Murray because after this game they have.
I'm gonna take the Cardinals regardless in that game.
Okay. I'm gonna take the Cardinals as well. Steelers versus Chargers Sunday night game. This might be interesting. TJ Watt versus Not Joey Bosa, the other Bosa. Nick.
Give me the
Not
Chargers.
Joey. I'm gonna take the Chargers as well.
Take
I like
Chargers.
that. Monday night, Giants versus Buccaneers in Tampa. I'm gonna take the Tampa.
Oh, strictly Tampa.
Yeah, because they have to win.
They have to win. And those are our Week 11 picks.
You're listening to the sounds of Disabled is Abled.
NBA.
podcast.
Hornets break the Warriors' 7-game win streak.
Yeah.
Tell me all about it.
Great defensive. I don't know if Charlotte was playing that boxing one on Steph. Because that particular defense really messes him up.
Yeah, that's a high school-based defense. Used to play high school ball and used to put somebody always on their best player and still play a zone on everybody else.
Right.
So
because he couldn't, even as great as Steph creates his own shot with his spacing, he couldn't.
I think he just had an off night.
Also that too. Because once he can't get in rhythm,
Right.
it's hard to win. And then mind you, the whole offense, granted, as much as I love it, is based
on him.
Based on him.
Yeah. When he gets going, it opens everything else up.
Right. And he got his 25 points, but those took like
Hard to
28 shots. When he would normally get that by 9 shots.
Right.
So
Teams are studying and trying their best to find out what's effective. I think when the Raptors did that,
right. They figured something out.
It figured something out, but you still have to execute it.
Right. With the right pieces.
And I just think it was a combination of
off night.
Yeah. Young team with something to gain comes in.
Right.
And they get a win.
A lot of our 3-pointers that were going in at home are not going in on the road.
Yeah. It's called home cooking.
Yeah.
But they are back on point now.
They're back on point.
They run into Brooklyn.
We ran into Brooklyn last night.
And they took care of Chicago, too.
And yeah. Who Chicago?
Wasn't that before? Or was that after the
Brooklyn game? No, that was before.
the Charlotte game?
The Chicago game was before the Charlotte game.
Okay.
Yeah.
But just this week, within the week, you beat Chicago
and Brooklyn,
which is 2 of the top East teams.
Right.
And you beat them handily.
Right. And credit to Charlotte. I love the duo of LaMelo Ball and Bridges.
Yes.
I love their chemistry together.
Yes.
But also, too, we had just played Charlotte 4 days before that.
Right.
So I knew
that they're going to figure some things out.
Right.
Yeah.
Make some adjustments. Speaking of the Brooklyn game, I was very excited about this game.
Mm-hmm.
It's Kevin Durant versus Steph Curry. This is the first time that they've both been healthy going against each other.
And ready to go at each other.
I can feel a little bit of tension because, used to be my teammate. We won mad championships together. And but the missing matchup was Golden State had way more depth than Brooklyn did.
Yes.
Because I didn't know when Brooklyn goes to their bench, like when Steve Nash benches both James Harden
It's a wrap.
You can't.
And that's where Kyrie used to come in.
Would come in, right.
And you guys would always have somebody.
Because having 3 All-Stars, you're not going to sit all 3.
And Joe Harris didn't play.
He switched
who helped
his
stretch the floor for Brooklyn. You
Right.
know? But they're a small team, and Durant at one point couldn't hit the side of a building.
Right.
He's another one of them players. When he goes bad,
Right, it's bad.
It's bad. It's really bad. Yeah.
And then, like we said, James Harden isn't getting those calls that he used to get.
Yes.
And they don't have no besides Aldridge and Blake Griffin, who both of those bigs I like their game, but they don't like to bang.
And they're not traditional bigs.
Right.
Yeah.
So.
And Chicago also beat this week. Speaking of them, a Clippers team that had won 7 in a row.
Right.
So Chicago is doing something right out there.
Absolutely.
Billy Donovan, the coach.
Billy Donovan is the coach. Like I said before, I like the fact that DeRozan is the closer.
Yes.
Zach LaVine is the secondary.
Yes.
And then LaMelo is just controlling.
He's just in so control of the game now, and his shot has improved so much.
Right.
Now he's not a liability out there.
Right. On offense. He's looking like the LaMelo that we saw when he got drafted.
Yes.
Before he got drafted.
Yes.
And then you have Alex Caruso giving you a spark plug with the second unit.
And then Vujacic is not even back yet. He was out.
He was out.
So when he comes back,
right,
they're even better.
And they beat your Lakers. They
handled the Lakers.
real quick, we didn't write it down, but how do you feel about because it was breaking news like last night that they're going to change the Lakers stadium arena from Staples Center to...
I mean, I'm used to Staples Center, but I remember when they played at the LA Forum.
Right,
I don't get caught into the names of the stadium. I do know the name Crypto is in alliance with the new money system that's coming in and that we need to prepare for.
Right.
So it is what it is. It does sound like a gangbanger spot.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, Crypto, yeah.
So, but I get it, and no big deal.
Yeah, I think because this is the first time I've witnessed Staples Center, so I look at it more as a landmark.
For yourself, yes.
For myself, because I remember Kobe playing there. I remember all those iconic battles in that arena. It's a little sentimental to me. Same thing with Oracle Arena.
Yes.
I was kind of upset when they had to leave that stadium.
Right.
Because that's another landmark.
And what's the name of the new arena?
Chase Arena. So, but...
And they are hungry to put a banner.
Oh, yeah.
In the new stadium.
In the stadium, yeah.
James Harden said when he and KD are on a roll, you can just pray.
Yeah, well, that didn't happen last night.
Yeah, that didn't happen last night.
They were definitely beatable.
Lakers are surviving without LeBron. That's an understatement. They're barely surviving.
Yeah, well, I think before the Brooklyn loss, y'all was winning 3 in a row, if I'm not mistaken, or 2 in a row.
What Brooklyn loss?
I mean, before the Bulls loss, I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Before the Bulls loss, y'all was rolling.
And I think they put Melo in the starting lineup lately. And his
definitely
efficiency, we're top 5 offensively when he's in the starting lineup. And we're at the bottom when he's not.
Right. And it seems like defensive players are starting to feed into that he's washed tactic. Mm-hmm. So you're leaving him wide open on every possession.
Yeah, and he's going to score
buckets. He's going to score buckets like that.
LeBron is dated that. I think Friday is the tentative date.
Who do y'all play that?
One of those teams.
Isn't that on the road? Oh, no.
Yeah, we're on the road the next 5 games.
I don't think it's a Bucks game. It might be the game after the Bucks game. Because I know y'all have the Bucks on Thursday.
Hey, I had my phone right in my pocket the whole time. I had no idea.
Yeah, pull up the schedule real quick so we can see.
All right. Tonight we play the Bucks.
Okay, he's not in that game.
He's not in that game. And Friday's game, we play the Celtics.
Okay, I would definitely bring him back for that game.
So, we'll see.
Because the Celtics have been, for some odd reason, really bad.
Yeah, they I think they got to make some trades over there.
Yeah. But it's good to see him coming back soon.
Yeah, absolutely. Scottie Pippen book UnGuarded is stirring up a lot of feathers. Yeah,
this started pretty much last week. We forgot to talk about it. I just wanted to put my 2 cents in. I agree with everything he said about Michael.
Oh.
First and foremost. Because I do feel like he's been, even though he's been awarded the top 50 most greatest player of all time, he doesn't get the credit he deserves.
Scottie,
talking about Scottie. When we talk about the Chicago Dynasty, both of them.
Yeah, understood.
Also, when we watched The Last Dance, he had some good points. Why are you mentioning certain
that had nothing to do?
That had nothing to do with this team and this dynasty.
And made me look bad.
It made me look bad.
Absolutely.
And we all know Michael had control of that entire
everything
film.
Had to go through him. And what we're talking about in particular for your audience is 1994, Michael was retired playing baseball.
Right.
But yet he threw the 94 season in there, or aspects of it, which really centered around Scottie Pippen leading a 57-win team.
Yes.
Deep into the playoffs.
One bad call away from going to the Eastern Conference Finals.
Yes, but refusing to go back into the game. And Tony Kukoc wound up hitting a shot to win it.
Right.
And it made him look like poor sportsmanship. And from his standpoint, he figured if Mike is gone, I'm the next guy in charge.
Right.
He didn't know if...
it's my time to be Batman.
Right. It's my turn to be Batman. But Phil saw that Kukoc was left-handed.
And the situation.
Right. And what we didn't realize, Kukoc got hit a lot of shots.
Right, before he got to Chicago?
Yeah.
Like in Europe?
No, not in Chicago that season.
Oh, okay.
So he was just playing the numbers. Long story short, But this is a documentary about Mike.
Right.
Mike wasn't there.
And
Pippen didn't like that.
Here's my thing too. The Bad Boy Pistons moment where he has that migraine.
Right.
I don't feel the need to mention that again because that same clip and that same situation has been. We talked about that in the 30 for 30 Bad Boys documentary.
So your needling points, you could have glossed over that.
Right.
Yes.
And once again, we do forget, like you always mention to me, there are a lot of times Michael gambled on defense.
Yes.
Because he had Scottie in the back.
And Rodman behind him.
And
Mike was a habitual gambler. So he made a lot of all defensive teams because the stats say, but he wasn't a great defender. Pippen was a better defender, a better rebounder, a better passer. Mike was the ultimate better scorer, and had
and
more
because
heart.
we glorified scoring way more than all those others.
Absolutely.
I also feel me and you kind of go a little bit back and forth with the Phil Jackson situation.
Yeah.
But because you brought a good story to my attention, I do agree. Phil does have racial tendencies.
Yeah.
Because I did forget, he did mention the LeBron.
Called them hoodlums.
Hoodlums, right.
Basically gangbangers. And
right.
Look how they dress.
Absolutely.
And it was all bad stuff. Washington.
It's been rolling.
I called this.
Yeah, you did. And
I called this when the season.
Yeah.
I just gave it the eye test and said Bradley Beal.
Spencer Dinwiddie.
Yeah. Along with three major pieces you got
Kuzma,
from the Lakers.
Harold, and I'm forgetting one last one.
Pope.
Pope, yeah.
I said, that's a five you can put out there who can, and remember, two of them have championship pedigree now.
Yeah.
And Harold has been in a lot of big games, and the ultimate scorer is Beal, and Dinwiddie is better than people give him credit for.
Yes. Because before the ACL tear, he was their third piece.
Absolutely.
And I thought, okay, cool, he's a good, valuable piece to trade for James Harden if you want, but I don't like it because of the chemistry.
Yes.
I like the chemistry better with the Kevin Durant, Kyrie, Spencer. And Spencer can play solid defense.
Yes.
So, speaking on top of Washington, Bradley Beal, I was saying Montrezl Harrell, being a small center that he is, he can bang with the Eastern.
And he's very active.
Right.
So he can run.
Because in the West, he had to go against Rudy Gobert, Joker.
Yeah, Joker. He had to go against some big
Porzingis. Those were, but in the East, it's only really Joel Embiid and maybe Giannis.
Yeah. So he has a better opportunity. Ben Simmons claimed the 76ers tactics are making his mental state worse. A very sensitive situation.
Very sensitive situation, but I call BS.
Okay, then you got to be very careful.
Because
deal with mental illness.
I know. Because here's the thing. I feel like he's just saying that now just to get out of the situation.
Using that as leverage.
And you're using that as leverage. I'm not saying I know what he's actually going through. But, okay, you mentioned it the first time. Right when the season started, you said you had mental illness. You had to step away from the game. Mm-hmm. I understand that. Okay, cool. But now you're saying, and what tactics are they been?
Well, they've been forcing him to come in for evaluations.
Oh, okay.
And then in these evaluations, they're like, you ain't crazy. You can play.
Right.
So now
he's saying, okay.
Yes. So it's a sticky situation. They just need to resolve it.
They need to just move. They need to move on. Because clearly he doesn't want to be there. But I just don't like him using the mental illness.
Yes, as a platform.
As a leverage.
Right, because before all of this contract stuff, you appear to be fine.
Right, and two, that's why Doc Rivers had the argument with him in a private meeting. Because he said it's in his contract.
Yes.
It's literally, like it's in the contract. He has to contribute something to the team.
Right.
So.
Steph Curry passes Ray Allen for the most all-time threes combination-wise.
I was mad
in terms of playoffs and regular season. Clap that up. But for the all-time regular season, he's about 70 short.
Right. Because I promise you guys, I've been watching Golden State games, all of them. And I know for a fact Curry needed about 173s to pass Ray Allen.
Right.
And then I'm seeing on social media people was congratulating Steph Curry for passing Ray Allen on the all-time threes list.
Right.
So I was like, either I got my math wrong.
And then they wasn't making a big deal about
Right.
it. And I was confused.
Because I'm like, that is a big accomplishment.
That's
like if LeBron
passing
was
Kareem, right?
passing Kareem or Karl Malone.
Right.
Everybody would stop and congratulate LeBron for
Yes.
those accomplishments.
Absolutely.
And the fact that he had did that, and I'm thinking, okay, we're still playing the game and nobody stopped.
Yes.
I was super confused.
I was confused too, but now
Congratulations
we
to
understand.
Steph.
Yeah, congrats to Steph.
He's about, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, 65 to 66 threes away.
It's about 70, and we calculated about 15 games, maybe 13 games.
Yeah, but he had hit 6 of those threes like right after he got to the 70 point.
Oh, okay,
So I
gotcha.
was like,
All right,
doing
so
the math in my head. But
13 games.
right, yeah, I called 13.
You're listening to the sounds of Disabled is Abled podcast.
DaBaby and his baby mama drama
Yeah,
with Dani Leigh.
yeah. This started like Saturday or Sunday night.
Yeah, we're in culture now. We're just speaking about
Everything that's going on.
current events.
So he got mad because she gave him a Plan B pill. Because she was claiming that he was being sneaky. He got offended and kicked her out.
Got you.
As far as I know. And then he's trying to claim that she's crazy. She has mental problems.
Long story short,
Long story short,
they need to take that into a private setting. Yes.
right. He did do the right thing though by calling the cops. He didn't touch her.
Yeah.
No physical
I said
violence.
the same thing.
He
Yep.
did the right thing by calling the cops. But also too, she needs to be smarter because you knew the situation. You know. If you know DaBaby's history, you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
You know what situation you're signing up for.
You know what his lifestyle entails.
Right, and you know what he does.
Yeah.
Don't act all innocent all because you thought he was going to choose you,
Yeah.
and now he doesn't want you.
Yeah. No, all valid points.
This is hip hop we're talking about.
So fans, there's a wellness check at concerts now.
Oh yeah, this is.
That's something new they're adding.
Yeah, this is. I like this.
I like that. Clap that up. So you can stop the concert. Let's give a wellness check. Make
Yeah,
sure
because now-
nobody needs water. Nobody's fainting. Yeah.
I do like this. I do also feel like people are starting to cross their T's and dot their I's a little bit more now.
Yeah,
because of the Travis Scott
Yeah,
situation,
the lawsuits involved.
which has gone up from 8 victims to now 10. SZA did it at her concert. Tiana Taylor did it at her concert.
Oh, okay.
They've just been stopping the concerts in case they see something that they don't
I
like.
think that's great.
I do like that.
I mean, most concerts won't have those issues
Or
because
not
they
concerts,
don't promote that mosh pit kind of behavior.
festivals.
Festivals.
There we go. They're doing that more at festivals.
Right,
Because concerts are more secure.
Right, you got a seat.
Right.
Yeah.
You have a seat, you have tickets. Real quick, speaking on the Travis Scott situation, I said last week that he wasn't accountable because of the pyro and the lights, and that's somewhat true. But finding more information on the situation after we were done filming this, Live Nation, if I was not mistaken, has a bad track record of doing these festivals.
Got you.
With every artist, not just Travis Scott.
Right.
But it was the same situation with Snoop Dogg Festival. Lost a couple people, a lot more casualties.
Got you.
More accidents, a few casualties. They have a terrible track record.
Got you.
There was a festival that Travis did back in 2015 or 2016 where he specifically told the security guards, because the security guards doing their job, realizing this is about to get a little out of control.
He told him let him go, right?
He told them, let him go. I want to see a riot. That's being ignorant
Yes,
and irresponsible on his part. And now it's always good and well when nobody gets hurt.
Soon as somebody gets hurt.
Soon as somebody gets hurt, now you're backpedaling, apologizing for your antics and your actions.
Very good points.
And also, to certain festivals and certain concerts that you go to, there's different crowds. Meaning, depending on the city that you go to, certain crowds wouldn't just stand there and let people suffocate and feel overwhelmed.
Yeah, but you can't beat a crowd.
Right.
So when the crowd starts pushing, it's thousands of pounds of pressure on your chest.
Right.
You're going to explode.
Absolutely.
We're at the 10-year anniversary of the Drake album, Take Care.
Yes, sir.
What was your favorite tracks on that album?
All the tracks, I'm going to be controversial with this. All the tracks that The Weeknd helped Drake write.
Wow.
I feel
Because
like
that was really the Weeknd's coming
that
out.
was all the Weeknd songs. He
that
had
Drake
wrote
hijacked.
that Drake hijacked. I'm going to stick to that because after I found that out, because I had always heard speculations. It was always,
Yeah.
And I have no problem with it. I'm not saying it's a crime against Drake. Because The Weeknd honestly was just trying to get put on at the time.
And that was the price for getting put on.
Right, that was the price for getting put on. But all the tracks that I personally like are the songs that Weeknd wrote.
Got you.
And I'm actually very glad that he didn't sign with OVO.
Got you.
Because we know OVO Sweatshop is always
Yeah.
in the way Drake operates.
Yep.
So, but nah.
We had a Drake and Kanye sighting.
Yeah, this was maybe yesterday.
Yeah, they're trying to come together for Larry Hoover, who's been in prison for over 45 years, gangster disciple, or, one of the overlords from that time. And everybody else who was with Larry Hoover during that time had been granted freedom to go home, but they won't let Larry go home. They're citing he's still a dangerous man. So Jay Prince is trying to put together some fundraisers.
Right.
Being that Kanye is from Chicago and Drake is the biggest artist in the world.
Right, and he has Drake in his back pocket.
To get them. So what do you think about that?
I like that. Love that. Have no problem with Drake and Kanye coming together to help that situation.
Mm-hmm.
I do call BS and I call baloney on the whole Kumbaya situation between Drake
They
and
have some unresolved issues.
They definitely have some unresolved. And you're not going to fix it with just calling my big boss.
Right. My big homie, yeah.
And forcing that's more of a that reminded me of The Game and 50 Cent.
Yes. A forced
when Dr. Dre,
treaty, yes.
because Dr. Dre was he owned both of them, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah.
Kind of forced 50 in Game, and then 50 said, no, Game said, I saw 50's corny stage smile. I knew it was all BS. Because the very next week after that Kumbaya, he continued to diss the Game.
Yes.
It's one of those situations. I like what they're doing in terms of the cause to help. Because I know Kanye put him on the song, put his son on the song, so I like that.
Larry Hoover Jr., yeah.
But the whole Kumbaya thing, I'm not buying.
So, Eli, where can we be reached?
We can be reached on YouTube, Twitter, SoundCloud, iTunes, and Instagram at Disabled It's Able Podcast. Like, comment, subscribe. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving, exactly.
Eat, fest.
And
love.
shout out Fredy.
Shout out Fredy. We'll see you guys in about a couple weeks, all right?
Ladies and gentlemen, please throw your hands in the air for the greatest podcast on earth when it comes to music, sports, and culture. Disabled is Able with your host, Eli and Fredy. So put your hands